Hey everyone, this is Hazel Lucia Tarot. I'm Stephanie, and today's reading is about your person's messages to you that they cannot tell you. So this could be any kind of relationship. You could be in a committed relationship, a situationship. It could be a crush situation, and the amount of communication you have with them could vary. You could also see this as the things they want to tell you but won't or don't want to tell you, or messages from their higher self. But basically, any messages you need to know from them to you. And we have 3 piles here for you today. We have pile 1 with the clear quartz star, pile 2 with this green calcite, and pile 3 with this translucent but very lovely rose quartz. So take a deep breath, and whenever you're ready, I'll have your reading ready for you. Hello there, pile 1. If you chose the clear quartz star, then we have your reading of your person's messages to you. We're going to start with the tarot card from the Whimsy Tarot, and then some oracles to get a little clear message of what it is your person would like to tell you but won't. So to start off, we have the 5 of Swords and a bunch of paper airplanes. I'm wondering, because this reminds me of like high school when people used to pass notes. At least they did back in my day. I don't know if that's what kids in more recent generations do. But I'm also thinking of just like messages that were sent in the classroom, whether that was through a handwritten note or maybe some texts, or even if, and I doubt this will be many of you, but for the few of you that do have a telepathic communication, or maybe just knowing what each other is thinking. So that's coming through. And with the 5 of Swords, I really do feel this is somebody you are not currently speaking to, or that you are in an argument with. Like there's some silence on their end and silence on your end as well. I feel some sort of tension, something that is difficult to speak about. But let's look into the oracles to see what else there is. We have disruption. I'm also aware that we are currently in Mercury retrograde, so that might be something that's coming up. We have retreat. Disconnect from outer world a bit in order to sort out how you feel about a certain situation or person. Make time for yourself now. This will help you gain more clarity. And you got 2 of the Star Codes Astro cards. We have Saturn with structure and Pluto rebirth. Yeah, I feel like whatever this argument was, it was quite, there was a lot going on with Saturn and Pluto. These are 2 very heavy planets. You were also given 3 cards from my Romeo and Juliet deck. So let's see. We have Juliet, inner strength, independence. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love as deep, the more I give to thee. The more I have, for both are infinite. She gives me Empress vibes, by the way. We also have Masquerade Ball, a night of passion, embracing a whole new identity. Go girl, seek happy nights to happy days. Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance. And appointment, engagement, marriage proposal. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, or propose marriage, send me word tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be propose. So I studied Romeo and Juliet in both high school and college. I have an English degree. And one thing about the words back then is that they would sometimes use like, it was more about how it sounded to them rather than what the actual word was, if that makes sense, because this is a play. It's meant to be shown on stage. It wasn't meant to be read the way we tend to do nowadays, at least in school. So I'm pretty sure that it's meant to say propose marriage. So I'm getting a few things here and several types of connections as well. For some of you, I feel like you are or were in a committed relationship with Saturn and Pluto here, because Saturn and the marriage proposal, I really feel there was a lot of commitment here. This was definitely something solid, and possibly something where you could have married each other or could have been engaged. But I'm also getting, for some of you, this could be a very potential connection that ended up being like a one-night stand, or like a fling that you thought was going to go somewhere. Because one thing to point out with the appointment card, in Spanish, the word for appointment and for date are the same thing, cita. So that's why when I think of appointment, I can also think of a date, at least with my with my background in language. And I don't know if it's the same for you if you speak any other languages, but I took this to also mean a date, which is interesting because we have engagement and marriage proposal here. But I really feel there was something that was revealed. I feel like you, the person viewing this, revealed something to your person, and in turn they got mad with it, or they had to sit with it for whatever reason. They didn't take it well, essentially, and this has caused a disruption in this connection. A disruption for sure. It's caused both of you to retreat into each other. And with Saturn and Pluto here, if you do come back together, you're not going to be the same people, because you've revealed parts of yourselves that don't really allow for that. Saturn is the planet of structure, sure, but also of things that last a while. This is I am at loss for words now, and maybe so is your person. Maybe that's why they won't reach out to you or tell you anything. But this is stability. This is structure. This is that which lasts forever. This is empires. This is also that which makes the world run. I'm thinking of like buildings and basically what you are building together. With Pluto rebirth, we have transformation. I always associate Pluto with the death card, with transformation. Also with Scorpio. Some of you might be Capricorn, some of you might be Scorpio. But this rebirth, again, when you come together, you just will not be the same. Something will have to shift in the dynamic of this connection in order for it to work, because I feel like you brought up things that you were having problems with in this connection. And same thing with your person. They just didn't know how to take that. Or perhaps they just needed to retreat into themselves to figure out exactly what to do with this information, because I really do feel like this was meant to be something that was long lasting with Saturn and engagement here. With inner strength and independence, specifically because we have Julia and because that does give me Empress energy. If you are the more feminine, if you're the Juliet of your connection, let's just put it that way, regardless of your gender, if you're the Juliet, the Juliet here needs more independence. I really feel like this is you, pile one, so I'm just going to address Juliet as you, again, regardless of your gender or what you identify as, because I really do feel like you are asking for some independence or something about really asserting yourself and your views and how you came off in this connection. Maybe you wanted the freedom to do more things before you get married or before you carried on in this connection. But I still feel like there's a lot of love coming from you to this person, because my love is as deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. And that's so lovely, because I really feel like you embody a lot of love, both for yourself, the person, and the world, because it all does come together in this one beautiful energy that makes the world go round. With Masquerade Ball, a night of passion, embracing a whole new identity. I'm wondering if, because I did say that this could possibly be like a one-night stand that had the potential to be a stronger connection. But I'm wondering if in this quote break, or in this period of separation or not talking, you decided to have a night of either passion or embracing a whole new identity. Maybe you went out, maybe you met somebody else, maybe this was just showing you that, one, the independence you needed, and two, maybe a reaffirming of whether you wanted this connection or not. For a few of you, and I kind of hate calling you out on it, I feel like there may have been some dishonesty involved, maybe some cheating. Maybe you did go out and meet somebody and dance, if not cheat, then definitely have like a flirtatious kind of thing with them, or I don't know, something where you tried to quote form a connection with somebody, even if it was just for the night, just to see if you still had that charm, if you still were able to, bring in somebody else, not because you dislike the person you're with, but maybe because you see or saw that some of the things they were offering you were just not enough. Maybe they weren't offering structure, enough stability in this connection. Maybe you would have liked to marry them, but you saw that they just were not quite there yet. or they weren't offering what it is that you needed in this connection. And that may have been what you told them. But as far as your person and what they want to say, I feel like there's still, we'll get into that in the tarot because I'm not getting that much from here. This is more just a situation being laid out because it's quite a bit. But I do get the feeling that they were quite angry. With Saturn and Pluto here, again, it's not going to be the same once you start speaking to each other again or seeing each other again. Somebody may be a Saturn or a Scorpio. And then for numbers, we have 24 and 27. So somebody could be 24, somebody could be 27, somebody could be a life path 6 or life path 9. And then for, it's interesting, we have 2 scenes from Act 2, Scene 2. So maybe somebody's a life path 2. And these also look like 1111s, even though they're Roman numerals. I know this is a 2. They both look like 1111s. So if you would like to make a wish, this is your chance. Maybe a wish to clear things up or to undo certain things. And then here we have scene, Act 1, Scene 4. So maybe a number 14 or 1 or 4 are of importance as well. But mostly I just get a very... For some of you, it's a lot messier than you would like it to be. And for others of you, it's more like, if this wasn't a committed connection, if this was just like a one night type of thing, you kind of expected more from them. And maybe they weren't ready for something more. Like the energy, the Saturn and the Pluto energy you were asking of them was too much. And they've had to retreat maybe to really think about it, whether they wanted to pursue this or not, or be in a committed connection. But let's move on to the tarot to see what else we have for you, my lovely pile 1. So we will be using the Accurate AF tarot to see what your person would like to say to you. We have, okay, 2 cards. We have the Knight of Cups and the, I don't know if that augments it or not, and the Page of Cups. Opportunity, creativity, curiosity, and discovery. We also have the Ace of Pentacles, recognition and success. And 5 of Wands, frustration and opposition. I'm feeling one more card. 2 of Swords, indecision and avoidance. Well, of course we would get that card in a reading about communication. Because this is, the messages I'm going to channel are going to be for whatever your situation may be. Because I've already explained a few situations that this could possibly be. Just pick whichever fits. And then to clarify this, the Knight of Cups, we have the Emperor. Wow. To clarify the Page of Cups. Okay, we have 2. We have 2 of Cups and the King of Swords. Wow. To clarify the Ace of Pentacles, we have the 5 of Wands. And to clarify the 5 of Wands. Oh, wow, they came up twice. Yeah, lots of frustration. Lots of, again, just this back and forth. A bit of tension. 6 of Swords, which is a retreat again, and the 2 of Swords. To clarify, what do we have? The Ace of Swords. So they will come through at some point. I think they have to, because there's a lot of feelings involved here. And back of the deck energy, just because I feel like it's important. King of Wands with Hashitaka. I think that's his name, from Princess Mononoke. But let's start with the Knight of Cups and the Emperor, because yeah, this person definitely has feelings for you. I feel like it's very much reciprocated, but whatever went on, so I'm hearing that this person is very, very much into you and they adore you. It's almost kind of annoying how much they adore you, and they may not show it entirely. They themselves may be quite a bit, I don't want to say flamboyant, but You know how Howl is, how he's just there and he's hard to ignore, and he definitely has a way with the ladies. I feel like your person is very similar. Either they're really good looking or they just have a way with words, or both. There's definitely a lot of charm to them, is what I'm getting. And maybe you think they have a little bit of a player energy, and maybe they have in the past or when they're single, but I really do feel that when they're in a connection, when they're committed, they're committed. They don't go looking around for anything else. Even if they do come off as quote quote flirtatious, I feel like some people just have that about them. They're just naturally, they're just very nice, and they have a way, maybe their smile just charms them, or maybe just, I don't know, something about them is very charming, because even right now as I'm channeling this, I'm really liking their energy. But I think that's just how they are. With the Page of Cups here, curiosity, discovery, Two of Cups, and the King of Swords, I really do feel like for some of you, for the people with whom there was a third party involved, I really feel like you just wanted to go out and see what else you could do. Maybe you were doing this out of jealousy because you saw how charming your person was, that you wanted to go out and see if you could do that as well, or maybe to quote put them in their place, because it's almost like they're not aware of how it makes you feel when they're flirting or when they're being overly friendly with certain people, and you're just left there feeling like, like, what about me? And so you did something similar, and maybe you took it too far. But that's only for whom that resonates for the third party situation. If it's not a third party situation and this is you, I really do feel like you've been trying to objectively see this connection for what it is with the King of Swords here. The King of Swords uses their intellect to make their decisions. You're trying to see whether this is actually you being into them, or if this is just their charm playing up on you. But with the Two of Cups here, I really do feel like this is a genuine connection. There's definitely a genuine mutual emotional connection here between the both of you. And it doesn't go unnoticed by your person either. Pile 1. With the Ace of Pentacles, maybe money was of some importance into this connection, but also your foundation. Like, what were you trying to build with this person? Because with the Five of Wands, I felt like there was some kind of disagreement as to what it is that you wanted, whether you wanted to get married or not, build a family or not. Maybe one of you was more traditional than the other, and one of you wanted to be more, I'm hearing laissez-faire for some reason, laissez-faire about this. But with the Five of Wands, there's just such a point of contention and just really this opposition. I feel like you've needed to separate. If you are separated, you needed to separate in order to really figure out what it is that you both want. And I can tell that you definitely both want each other. But are the things you want in life the same thing? Do they align with your principles, with their principles? Like, do your lives mesh together well? Or at the very least, the things that you want in your life, do they also mesh? With the Five of Wands and the Six of Swords here, again, this is his retreat to see whether this would work out or not. And sometimes you need time apart to really figure out whether you want this or not. But with the Two of Swords here, the indecision, the avoidance, and also to me this just signifies not wanting to talk through it. The Ace of Swords comes through and cuts through that with the King of Wands. When your person comes back into your life to talk about this, I really feel they're going to have a direction. They're going to know exactly what they want. They're going to lay out everything, and so will you. I really feel the King of Wands is the both of you. You're going to both be in control. You're going to know exactly what you want. And so I'm not sure if you'll still agree after the fact or not. I think it'll depend on you and what path you want to take, because I really do feel like your person adores you. And it's funny because it looks like his bow and arrow is aiming for this Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Coins, or Ace of Rings. They want the success. They definitely want you. They definitely want you, Pile 1. I don't know how else to put it. Like, all the signs are here. But I don't know if they won't give you what you want in life. If the things that you want in life are not meshing, if they're not compatible, will you still want them? Because there's definitely a lot of love here in this connection. I'm hearing adventure. So I don't know, maybe one of you wants more adventure than the other. And I'm also seeing, I'm being drawn to the crystal card here. So I'm wondering if, I don't know, something about crystals. I don't know if you use crystals or if they use crystals, or if a crystal is of some importance. Just cleanse. I feel like you need to cleanse yourself of a lot of this person's energy, again, to see whether what you want is in alignment with what they want, and you're not just going along with whatever they want to be in this connection with them. Because if you are changing your views and your values to align with somebody else's just to stay with them, you're not being true to yourself, and that's going to end up hurting you in the long run. Because I get the feeling that your person isn't going to budge on their stuff, and maybe likewise, you may not either. Or if you do, just know that, just make sure it's your truth. Make sure it's your authentic self, because there's something about stubbornness on both parts. That's what I'm getting from this Five of Wands energy on both sides. But let's move on to any closing advice from your person and anything else that they want to say that needs to come through, because I know I'm not getting a lot from them. But again, this is just them, and I really do feel they would rather just tell you in person. Or at the very least, I feel like I haven't told you anything that you don't already know, other than maybe that they really, really love you. Maybe you're not aware of that. There's just so much love and admiration for you here, Pile 1. You're definitely their Juliet. But we're going to use some florography cards for any more, the kind of cards, the kind of flowers they would send you. And we have Stargazer Lily. Maybe somebody's name is Lily. Abundance. This late bloomer joined a family steeped in history, as lilies were celebrated for centuries. White lilies were particularly popular. The original pink stargazers mean expanded horizons, abundance, and wealth. Giving somebody pink stargazer shows your belief in their ambition and hopes for their prosperity. As with many other flowers of this color, the white variety are associated with purity, innocence, and simplicity. So I feel like there's going to be an abundance, either for both of you within this connection or for both of you outside of this connection. Either way, there's abundance coming your way, Pile 1. And let's get another flower card, florography card. Ooh, we have now Camellia. Eternity. Somebody's name could be Camilla. Like a rose, camellia flowers are made up of layers of symmetrical spiraling petals. Camellia petals and leaves fall together, signifying union even in death. Their meanings include longing, admiration, beauty, adoration, and loveliness. So with eternity, I really do feel this is somebody that you might be, not for all of you, but for a lot of you, this might be somebody you're considering going into an engagement with, into a commitment, and even a marriage. Just because I do feel like there's a lot of love here. But again, the things that you need to align before you go on to this are your lives. What kind of life do you want to have? Because it's one thing to just love somebody, because there's plenty of that in here, but do your lives align? Like, do you want to do the same things? Do you both want a home? Do you want to travel? Do you want children? There needs to be a long talk about that, and take your time when it comes to getting married, because it's better to wait to get married rather than to go ahead, get married, and then find out maybe a year or so into the connection that you actually don't want the same things, or you don't live the same kind of lifestyle, regardless of the love. And we're also going to get a few tea leaves for my lovely Pile 1. And for some of you, maybe marriage isn't even a thing you want, but because it's popping up so much in this connection, in this pile, in this connection, maybe it's just something that's being brought up a lot and being considered. All right, so let's get 3 tea leaves for my Pile 1. We have handshake. A meeting with a stranger could be important. I did speak of a stranger. Maybe it's that third party for some of you, and for others, it might be somebody who's willing to lend a hand or offer you some advice. We have target. That's funny because I was just talking about the bow and arrow in the tarot. A goal-oriented person. Yeah, I feel like your person is very goal-oriented. And butterfly, a change for the better. So I see nothing but lovely things coming your way, pile 1. I really hope you and your person can make amends and speak to each other in a civil manner and in a way that you will both understand and listen to each other, because there's a lot of love here, and I really do feel like there's nothing but goodness coming your way, and definitely transformations. I was already getting that with Pluto in the oracles, but this is just confirming that both you and your person will be going through transformations throughout this connection. And when they do reach out to you, because I really feel they will with this handshake card here, things are going to be spelled out a lot more clearly for you and this person. And that is all I have for you today, pile 1. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. Let me know if any of this resonated, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, pile 2. If you chose this green, juicy looking calcite, then we have your reading here for you today about any messages from your person that they either can't tell you or won't tell you due to whatever reasons may arise. We're going to be looking into the Whimsy Tarot for some guidance, and then we're also going to be looking at some oracles just to get a gist of what is going on between you and your person, and this lack of communication or communication from their higher self that wants to come through. But we're going to start with, the Lovers. I forget what the name of this film is from Studio Ghibli, but I kind of love it. I haven't seen it yet, so don't spoil any. Well, go ahead, spoil it for me. That's on me for not watching it. But we have the Lovers, and we have the Six of Wands with a celebration. And I think in some readings, this could also mean a marriage. So for some of you, maybe there's a proposal that's been made, or maybe you're engaged, or you're about to be married. But either way, we're going to look into the oracles to see what this is about. We have Strength. Scorpio, investigate. Capulet, fatherly love, controlling dogmatism. My child is yet a stranger in the world. This is from my Romeo and Juliet oracle cards, by the way, love oracles. We have Romeo, idealistic lover, passion, rashness, quickly changing moods. I defy you, stars. And home and family. There might be some changes coming up regarding your current home situation. A relocation could be possible. This card also stands for starting a family together. So yeah, if you are married or have already been married, I really feel like the talk of family is of importance. And this is something that either they have not expressed to you yet, maybe because either you're newly engaged and it still feels to them that it's a little too early to talk about family, or because of I'm also hearing with home and family that there might be some traditional things going on with their own families, and I'll explain that in a minute. But with Strength and Scorpio, I really feel like your person is a strong silent type, or at the very least one of either of those. With Scorpio, I'm also getting they might be quite mysterious, or at the very least intense. I really do feel like, or you could be a Scorpio, maybe you're the one investigating and trying to figure out what your person is trying to tell you. And hopefully I don't ruin anything by that, but either way, I get the feeling that mysteries are of importance to this connection right now, either within the family or within the background of somebody. This could be maybe something to do with heritage, something to do with biology. Maybe somebody has found out about a biological parent, or some family mysteries are popping up, oddly enough. With Capulet here, fatherly love, controlling, and dogmatism. I'm getting one of two things. Either one of you or the other has a very controlling father, as in, what dad says goes, whatever your father says is what goes, or the family name is of importance. Like maybe there's a family here that has a very distinguished name, or has a reputation, like something to uphold the family name is what I'm hearing. And Romeo here, I'm really taking to mean either you or your person. This is definitely one of the Lovers. there's a lot of idealism in this connection, and it's so pure and it's so lovely, and quite frankly there is a lot of love in this connection. But the thing that your person doesn't really want to speak about is how to deal with families, because I really do feel like there's commitment here, but when it comes to the family, there's just certain things that make them, I feel like they don't know how to go about it. Either if you haven't met their family, then there might be some hesitation because maybe you're not anything like the other people you've brought to meet their family, if that makes any sense. Or maybe you two are from very different backgrounds, whether that's economically, socially, or even culturally. There's just some hesitation there when it comes to meeting each other's families, especially if you already are engaged or even married. I know some people get married and then they introduce their families, which is odd to me, but that does happen. But there is definitely a celebration to be had. Maybe this is also like an engagement party where everybody is finally getting to meet each other's families. And there's just a fear that something may be revealed that doesn't need to be revealed, or that there is something that just will not mesh well, because Scorpio can also talk about oppositions. They're very black and white. Well, I'm generalizing because not all Scorpios are like this, obviously, but the Scorpio view, the perspective is of black and white, like either they're this way or they're that way. It's also of extremes, and maybe their family is this way, like they really feel like they're either going to hate you or love you, and they would just rather it be something in between, or you know, because if it can't be absolutely love, then it's going to be absolutely hate, and they kind of don't want to put you in that situation. So there's something about the family that's being brought up when it comes to your unionship. And even if it's not a marriage, I'm getting that strongly, but for those of you for whom marriage is not there yet, this is definitely going to be something, they don't just introduce anybody to their family, let's just put it that way. And likewise, I don't think their family wants to meet anybody unless they know it's going to be somebody that's going to be there for the long haul, that's going to be there for the long term. Like I said, for some of you, it could be about you two starting a family, but I'm not feeling that as strongly. I feel like that's just going to be for a small portion of you. But for the rest of you, I'm hearing that, I'm hearing, what's Hera give me strength, which is what Wonder Woman says before she does her superhuman strength going on. And I get two things out of that. One, like you literally need the strength to deal with this guy's, I keep saying guy, this person's family. I say guy because there's Romeo here. So I'm imagining your person is Romeo. But again, this could be whomever you are attracted to. It could be regardless of their gender. But I'm hearing Hera give me strength. Also, Hera is the goddess of marriage. So you're asking the goddess of marriage for strength as well as strength in general. Maybe Wonder Woman is of importance to some of you. Maybe you resonate with the love arc in the Wonder Woman movie, which I haven't seen in a while, but I know I love it. Some numbers coming through. 6 is coming through twice because the Lovers is a number 6. It's not on here, but I know that by heart. And the 6 of Wands, and also 8. So I'm wondering if June or August are of importance, or maybe June 8th. Sorry. No, I'm right. June 8th or August 6th. I'm also getting 66 here. So maybe somebody could be born in 66, like maybe a parent. I know my father was born in 66. And 68 as well, because I think that's the, again, that's an age for a parent. Depending on your age, I'm assuming everybody's like around my age, but maybe you're the person who's getting married and you were born in 66 and or your partner was born in 68. And 86 as well. So maybe somebody was born in 86 as well. But yeah, something about the generations here, definitely for sure, because look at the way Capulet is looking at Romeo, because Capulet is Juliet's father. So maybe if you are a woman, maybe your father is being very overprotective of who's coming into your life as well. But yeah, as far as something to do with family is what your person is not wanting to talk about just yet. Because I do feel like this is a connection where you two are happy and you're speaking to each other on a regular basis, but they are keeping this family thing hidden from you. But regardless, let's move on to the tarot to see what else they would like to say. Maybe what specifically about their family is going to come through. or how they feel about the family situation. We're going to use the Accurate AF Tarot. And we have, oh, okay, 2 came out. The 5 of Rings, insecurity, recovery. You also have the 3 of Wands, development and opportunity. We have the 4 of Swords, solitude and healing, and also rest. I always associate that card with rest. And meditation, because there is a silhouette of a person there and it looks like they're meditating. We have the Knight of Pentacles with productivity and endurance. Yeah, this is somebody here for the long haul. And the Ace of Cups, spirituality and fulfillment. Again, I'm getting those party vibes from that card. So I feel like there's a celebration coming up and you're going to have to meet somebody's family. Well, your person's family. Not just somebody's, but maybe they also have like a weird family, like maybe family, friends, or other families that are kind of like their quote adopted family. But to clarify the 5 of Pentacles, we have 2. We have the Emperor and the 2 of Cups, which is funny because those came out in the first reading as well. Yeah, your person's definitely the Emperor here. And I can confirm that they adore you. We have the 5 of Swords. We have the 4 of Swords, or sorry, the 3 of Swords. The Ace of Wands with Calcifer, which is Howl's heart. So you definitely have, yeah, they definitely have your heart, or no, you have their heart. And Death with the Ace of Cups. So there's going to be some quite revealing things. Oh, and back of the deck energy, the High Priestess. That's of importance. So there's going to be some things being revealed when you go to their family function or when you meet their family. Something is definitely going to come through. And because this is such a committed connection where there's definitely a lot of love and they see you in their future, the things that are going to be revealed within this family are going to be, they're going to change you for sure with the Death card here. But let's start with the 5 of Rings, insecurity and recovery. So the 5 of Pentacles, if you remember in the Rider-Waite, it's the people not looking up at the window. So I really feel like it's almost like something's not being seen. Maybe they don't want their family to see you, because I really feel this is more their family than yours. But if it is yours, by all means take that if it resonates. But something isn't being seen. Something is being hidden for sure, because that window is right up there, but they're not seeing it, either because they're refusing to or because they just don't notice it. But in this case, I feel like it's deliberate. There's a sense that they don't want you to see some of the ugliness that their family has, whatever that may be. Because with the 2 of Cups and the Emperor here, I really feel like they want to shield you from that. They want to protect this connection from the energy that family tends to give, unfortunately. Because with the 3 of Wands and the 5 of Swords here, it's almost like they're waiting for some kind of argument to be brought up. It's like there's something that is very much, it's pending, because you see these little crystals, they look like they're lining up for something. And the 5 of Swords to me is an argument. It's an argument where like there's no winner. Like either way, there's going to be a loss on both sides, even for the winner, if that makes sense. So I really do feel like there's an impending discussion that is not going to go well, regardless of how it goes. It's definitely a difficult discussion. I don't think you are the discussion. It might be if it is about marriage. I'm also hearing that they might have, they might really fear speaking to your father for your hand in marriage if this is a very traditional person and a very traditional kind of connection and or family. That's just for a few of you. I'm not getting most of you, I'm getting just a few of you that this is the case. But for those of you who don't follow by that, or maybe you're already married, then I do feel like they're waiting, they're prepping themselves for some kind of heavy discussion that's going to go on. And with the 4 of Swords here and the 3 of Swords, I really do feel like they're gonna have to take a break from either their family or possibly even you, to do some healing, to rest, to really just step away from this situation. because it's going to leave them heartbroken with the Three of Swords here. It's almost like they know that there's just no winning this. And I feel such a sense of defeatism from your person. It's kind of, personally, I find it annoying because I try to be as optimistic as possible, especially in my romantic relationships, because I just like to keep the vibration high. I like to keep the hope there. And I know it's a little bit of toxic positivity, I'm aware, but because people do need to feel what they feel. But at the same time, it's almost like they might just be in this energy for a while, is what I'm hearing, of not being in a good place due to the things that come from their family. With the Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands here, I really do feel like in the long run, this is going to be good for them. It's going to allow them to start anew, start from scratch, and really transform themselves as a person. Because I feel like in order for this connection to move on, they need to change either their perception, their way of being, or their way of, maybe they rely far too much on their family's approval. And I really do feel like after this discussion, there's just going to be a sense of reawakening here with the Ace of Wands and Death. This is a new start, a new way of seeing life through the eyes of love with the Ace of Cups here. And this is only going to benefit your connection, pile 2. So the things they have to tell you don't really pertain to you. It pertains more to their family connection and how you kind of play out in it, because you are affected by this, but it's not directly about you. With the High Priestess here, they will benefit from your intuition. I'm feeling the High Priestess is you, and I really do feel like you have a lot of good advice and or calming energy to provide for your person. So they're very grateful that you are in their life, because especially at a time like this where they're going through this healing and heartbreak due to familial ties, I feel like your energy is just so appreciated. And underneath that, what do we have? The Two of Swords. Yeah, I just feel like they're going to be disconnected from communication and maybe a little bit withdrawn from this connection, but that doesn't mean that they don't want to be with you anymore. If anything, it just means that they want to preserve this connection and protect it by all means from whatever is going on here. Because the Knight of Pentacles is somebody who is in it for the long haul. They are in it, they're committed. They're very committed. But again, there's going to be a rebirth here, and a much needed one. And especially because we have Totoro here, I really feel there's going to be like a sense of childlike wonder, like a newness, and they might be healing childhood traumas as well, especially because it does have to do with the family. And with the family, it's where it's the background to our childhood. But moving on, let's get some final cards for any messages from your person that they would like to tell you but won't or can't. I have a feeling that for this pile especially, they just can't because they don't know how, and because it doesn't really have anything to do with you, so they don't want to involve you in it. But regardless, your energy is very appreciated. We're going to start with some florography cards. I feel like I haven't used this deck in a while. We have Peony? No. Ranunculus. Attraction. According to Persian folklore, the first ranunculus sprang up in the spot where a lovesick prince perished after beautiful nymphs refused his affections. If you're harboring a secret crush, ranunculuses are the perfect way to reveal your true feelings. Their meanings include charm, attraction, commitment, and everlasting love, and say, "I hold you close to my heart." They grow in a range of colors. The name originates from the Latin rana, meaning frog, and unculus, meaning little. So maybe some of you frogs are of importance. I'm getting The Princess and the Frog. Maybe that's a movie or a story you both like. And I'm also getting, with attraction here, yeah, they just adore you, pile 2. So don't think that their love or even their physical attraction to you has waned in any way. They're just going through it. Families can be messy businesses. And Hyacinth, constancy. Hyacinths are now associated with sport and play, although hopefully with less tragic consequences. They are said to mean constancy, faith, and gentleness, with the blue color in particular denoting sincerity. Yeah, I just feel they're committed to you. Whoever this person is, they're very committed. So if they're withdrawn for whatever reason and you just feel like they're growing out of love or growing apart. Don't think that at all. They just don't know how to deal with their emotions when it comes to their family. And they adore you and want you to stay in their life because they really appreciate you regardless. And we're going to use some tea leaves as well. Let's get 3 for my pile 2. We have finger, warning you of a problem either now or in the near future. This might be that family we were talking about, maybe, especially if they haven't said a word about their family. Broom, new home, new attitude. Yeah, for some of you, maybe you're moving in together, and that's going to shift how your connection is going to play out for the better. I'm definitely hearing for the better. And wealth, family wishes come true. So if this family is a good thing, if they're good people, then, and their wishes are for you two to be happy and together, I really feel like that's going to come true. But I'm also hearing like the wishes of your own family, or even the wishes you two have for the family of your future, that they will come true. So let's say you're wishing for a peaceful family where everybody speaks to each other respectfully. This is definitely going to come true. Just, you know, put it out there in the universe, what kind of family you would like to have with your partner, and what kind of energy you would like it to bring into your life. But this is all I have for you today, pile 2. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. Let me know if any of this resonated, and I will see you in the next reading. And if you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. Bye. Hello there, pile 3. If you chose this gorgeous rose quartz, then we have your reading here for you today about the things your person would like to tell you, but that they won't or can't for whatever reason. And we're going to start off with this tarot card from the Whimsy Tarot, and then we're going to go into the oracles to get deeper into what it is they want to say. So let's start with this card. We have the Page of Wands, and this is really cute. If you can tell, this is Satsuki carrying her little sister May on her back on a rainy day. And every time I see this card, I think of the Umbrella song by Rihanna. So maybe that song is of importance to you. And I am getting, for some of you, this may not be a love connection. It might be a friend, and possibly a friend you see as a sibling, but it's definitely more of a friend. So for some of you, it might be a love connection, and for the rest of you, it might be not so much love, even though this entire reading was supposed to be about love. I'm just letting you know. Let's look into the oracles to confirm this, if that has anything to do with anything. But we have Chiron, heal, love. So yeah, for the most of you, this is going to be a love connection. Rigid, there are invisible walls around you preventing love to come in. In order to experience love, you need to open yourself up and let your guard down. Rings, symbol of love, union, soul connection. How well my comfort is revived by this. And secret help, keeping secrets, anonymous goodwill. For this alliance may so happy prove to your household's rancor to pure love. Sorry, to turn your household's rancor to pure love. So this is from the Romeo and Juliet deck, these 2 cards. And this is, I want to say the friar, somebody who helped Romeo and Juliet get together. And essentially what this card is saying from the play is that there's a chance that 2 people could reconcile, that both of their houses could come together and actually be harmonious, as opposed to warring families if Romeo and Juliet got together. And likewise, I feel like for some of you, this is definitely going to be like a friends to lovers kind of thing. Like if the person you're thinking about you're not in a connection with, but they're more of a crush, or maybe you were just having to think of a friend. I really do feel like there's a lot of love here. However, there's going to be somebody helping you out to bring you 2 together. This could be a mutual friend. This could be, I'm just hearing mutual friend. Somebody that knows the both of you and knows that you like each other, and is kind of wanting you to get together because, it's cute to see real live ships get together. But with Chiron here, I really do feel like somebody is having to heal from this self-love or lack of self-love and this rigidity. I really do feel like I'm getting this is more from your person, but it might also be a little bit of you, pile 3. Because they definitely want to come through and offer something solid, but there's just a sense of not fully being worthy of you is what I'm hearing. It's almost like, especially if you are friends right now, they might look up to you. They might be younger and they might look up to you the way somebody looks up to an older sibling. But I think at some point they realize, no, they don't really see you that way. They actually are really, really into you in a love type of way. And for some of you, I just feel like this could just be a crush right now, and it could develop further. But again, I'm just feeling somebody that looks up to you, regardless of what's going on. So yeah, I really do feel this is a love connection. It's not really a sibling or a friend type thing. But if for some reason that is resonating, you could take that. Not the sibling thing, more like the friend type thing. Maybe you remind them of their siblings, which again, it's kind of gross, but I'm trying not to judge here, but you know, it is what it is. Let's just move on with the reading. With Chiron here, again, there's healing from self-love, but I'm also getting a teacher, like a teacher mentor type of energy. So this could, especially if this is somebody that you looked up to, maybe that you work with, or maybe is in the same field as you could have looked up to them. Let's say you're both musicians and you looked up to this musician, but then feelings started to develop there, if that makes sense. Or maybe there's an artist and you really look up to this artist, and again, feelings started to develop there. I'm having the feeling that it's more from whoever's less experienced or less popular, or whoever's not as advanced as the other or more successful than the other is the one who is definitely falling for this person, because that's where the lack of self-worth comes from. It's almost like, oh no, they're too good for me. They would never see me in this way. But the truth is, the love here is very much reciprocated, if that makes any sense. Like, they don't really care that you are less experienced than them. I'm really not sure who is who here, so just take it as it resonates. I'm just trying to channel messages here, but it doesn't matter like where you are in life. Love can happen between any two people that are just really into each other and want to make it work. So whomever it is that needs to, I said both, but whoever it is that needs to do the self-healing, the self-love, this is who the message is from. And basically they just don't want to come through and say it because that fear of rejection is coming through very strongly. And I really do feel that if there is a third party, whether a friend or maybe somebody, whoever connected them, this third party is going to help them out a lot. Like maybe they'll say something, be like, oh, I actually heard that they're into you, or they said this about you, and not in a very meddling way. I really feel like it's going to be little things here and there, because it's like, hey, did you know that they really, really liked your this, and this, or what you said about this? I really feel like there's going to be somebody trying to get you two together, or even suggesting that you just two go out for whatever reason. I'm also getting like two actors in a play, and like your director comes through and says like, yeah, maybe it'll help the both of you to really fill out this role if you just go on a date or something, which I love. I love that as well when people try to set people up, because some people I feel would not come together unless there was some kind of third party intervention. For some of you, I'm hearing that this third party could also be a sibling. So I'm pretty sure that's why that was coming through at first. Maybe this could be like the friend of a sibling, or I'm not sure. I really feel like you meet each other through siblings or even family. But there's a lot of love here, and this lack of self-worth is the only thing that's keeping this person from coming through and really confessing to this, whatever this is. Again, I'm not sure who's who. It might be a little bit of both of you. Honestly, I feel like you could both hold each other on a pedestal and just not see that you are actually both very much worthy of each other. So it's going to be up to this third party, little bro, little sis, or big bro and big sis coming through to be like the perfect wingman. But let's move on to the tarot to see what else your person would like to say to you. That for whatever reason, they just will not say. But now we know the reason. It's that lack of self-worth, lack of feeling worthy of you and your time, maybe even your presence. For some of you, it might be the person who is in higher standing that is actually doesn't feel worthy of you for whatever reason. They might just think you're way too pretty or way too beautiful or way too, I don't know, something, but more likely to do with how you look. But regardless, we have the Accurate AF Tarot. We have the 10 of Pentacles, culmination and satisfaction. The 4 of Cups, contemplation and reevaluation. There's that self-doubt again coming through. The 3 of Pentacles, collaboration and competence. Yeah, I feel like you two will collaborate. I'm pretty sure these are two people that work in the same thing or of something similar, and this is how you met. I'm also getting that third party that is going to come through and help you out. We have the Priestess, the High Priestess, illumination and knowledge, and the Queen of Cups. And this is so beautiful. Oh my God. Whoever this person is, they see you as the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess. They're probably really just awed by you. Because I'm getting that you, my dear Pile 3, are somebody who is actually rather intuitive and or magical. There's just something about your artistry is what I'm hearing. Because they consider it to be art. Whatever it is that you do. Even if you yourself don't see it as art. For example, I'm a cake decorator, and I don't see decorating cakes as art, but I get called an artist all the time when I make my cakes, even though I don't see it that way, because I don't even do fancy cakes. I just do regular old cakes, the kind that you see in a grocery store. Every now and then I'll get fancy with it, but like most of my stuff isn't art, but people call me an artist. So likewise, I feel like, let's say you just have well, I don't know. Maybe what you do for a living is like set up displays in a store. They see it as artistry because they think you have an eye for detail. But anyway, let me clarify some of these with the Whimsy Tarot. For the 10 of Pentacles, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, that's a lovely card to get with that. There's a lot of abundance in your future. We have 3 of Cups with a celebration. Yeah, I feel like you two like to have a lot of fun together. Justice with the 3 of, to clarify the 3 of Pentacles. To clarify the High Priestess, we have the 7 of Swords. And to clarify the Queen of Cups, we have the 8 of Wands. It's weird. So I feel like at one point, things were going great, especially when you first met each other. Maybe because the feelings hadn't been acknowledged or they weren't all there yet. So if it feels like your person has withdrawn a bit, Pile 3, it's because they're realizing the extent of their feelings toward you. They're really recognizing little by little that they are very attracted to you and they kind of don't know how to deal with it. Therefore, they kind of stay away because you make them nervous, essentially, and you make them realize that you are so out of their league that it kind of deflates their ego. And they might be somebody who has quite a big of an ego. Maybe. I'm not really getting any of that, but they might be. But anyway, with the the 10 of Pentacles here, and the Wheel of Fortune, when you two came together, there was a sense that you two worked together very well. The 10 of Pentacles suits can be money and abundance, but I also see it as work. And with the 10 of Rings here, I really do feel like you worked very well together. With the Wheel of Fortune, it's almost like you two were meant to meet at some point, to come together and work really well. It's almost like your energies mesh very well. So it's of no surprise that you met each other. But there was definitely a feeling like this was meant to be, and it was very much faded. With the 4 of Cups and the 3 of Cups, the 3 of Cups, I'm getting somebody who doesn't really show how contemplative they are on the inside. They don't want to show their emotions on the outside. On the outside, they want to come off as somebody who's very fun, somebody who's open to anything and open to to party and to just, you know, collaborate, especially with the Three of Rings and the Three of Cups here. Somebody who likes to collaborate on artistic endeavors, or, you know, just to have fun, or just in general. Even if it's not an artistic endeavor, I feel like they just like to have fun when they work, specifically with you. With Justice here, I'm getting that at some point somebody might have been committed in a different relationship. I don't know if this was you or that person. And if so, especially if somebody is recently single, has recently become single, maybe they started noticing just how attractive you are. If you are the one who became single, or if they became single, they started realizing that, okay, well, let me see what my options are. And they thought of you. And suddenly you became this high priestess. And even though the priestess does have to do with intuition, I feel like they're very aware of your intuition. They're aware of your psychic ability, and they think that makes you beautiful. They think that it makes you powerful, and it makes you stand out in a crowd. It definitely leaves you very mysterious, and something that they definitely want to explore more, if you will. With the Seven of Swords here, it's almost like they were fighting themselves on whether they wanted to find you attractive or not. It's like they were done fighting themselves on whether they were into you. And I feel like it was like quite of a fight, an internal fight with themselves. That, or maybe they had given up on you because they saw that you were in a committed relationship, if that was the case. And therefore they were like, well, okay, I'm developing feelings for this person, but they're taken. So let me just do away with it. And then as soon as they do, like, you become single, and it's like, well, crap. Well, now I have to acknowledge this and make my move before this person gets taken up again. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm seeing. Because you're quite a hot commodity, pile 3. I really feel like if you were to be single, it won't last very long. Just because of your beauty. And it's funny that I did say that they find you beautiful, because we have the Queen of Cups here with authentic and virtuous. The Queen of Cups is a very nurturing, feminine energy, and I really do feel like this is what you embodied, regardless of your gender, regardless of what you identify as. There is something very beautifully, emotional about you. You're very nurturing. You just make people feel good about themselves. And with combined with the High Priestess, I really feel like your intuition is mega strong, to the point where you're like giving advice without even realizing it, or just saying things that really resonate with people without you even trying. And this could be a trait that they're just really into. They're like, wow, look at pile 3 go, just being this beacon of hope and emotional healing without even trying. With the Eight of Wands here, again, that fight, that internal monologue and that inner fight, they're trying to fight this so hard. Either their attraction toward you, or this feeling that they're not worthy of you. It's causing quite a bit of a stir within themselves. And of course, this is not something they're just going to say out loud, because it would be something crazy to express to somebody like, hey, I really like you and it's messing me up. Essentially is what this message is. But the fact that it came out so clearly, I don't know. I feel like they would tell you if they could, but this isn't something you really just say to people without coming off as a little crazy. Though something tells me you would probably understand, though, pile 3. I feel like you may have been in a similar energy before, so it's like, no, I understand. And maybe you also feel the same way. I don't know. It's up to you. It depends whether you want to continue seeing this person as a friend, or if you want to start seeing them as a lover. And because you did click on this pile, I have a feeling that you do have a bit of feelings towards this person. Maybe you just clicked on it for funsies, and that's okay. But I'm just here to tell you what it is. Especially for those of you who see this person as a quote sibling, maybe you will start shifting that perspective. It's like, well, yeah, maybe this is worth a shot. I don't know. It's kind of weird. There also could be quite of an age gap, and maybe that's why you saw them that way. Maybe it's like a bigger age gap than you're used to. Maybe like, I don't know, 10 years apart, because we did have the 10 of Pentacles come out first. And that's the biggest number I really see here. So I doubt it's anything larger than that, maybe 8 or 7. It depends how big of it depends what a age gap is appropriate for you. Because I know the older you are, the wider the age gap, it's not as important. But the younger you are, like in your 20s, it is of importance, you know. But regardless, let's move on to your final messages from your person. This is really cute. And I was expecting like a secret crush reading to come up from this entire reading. It's like, there's gotta be one. Let's see. We're gonna pick some choreography cards. Also so super thirsty right now. It happened with this reading, so take that as you will. Either they need a lot more water, or you know, they're just thirsty for you. I don't know. But we have Campanula. Well, here's the flower. Campanula, constancy. Campanulas represent constancy and gratitude, and are the perfect way to say I have faith in you. Much like bluebells, they are sometimes planted on graves and carved into headstones to symbolize everlasting love, so they can also be an appropriate flower to give to those in mourning. Again, I'm getting the feeling that this person liked you regardless of whether they or you were in a relationship or not. I feel like that's when the crush started, because, I don't know, some people do that. You might be in connections and they're not really working out, but so they start developing crushes on people. And honestly, if you start developing a crush on somebody when you're in a relationship, I think that's the sign that that connection is not going the way it should be. But that's just my opinion. I know everybody has their own thing, and there are polyamorous relationships out there as well. But if you're not a polyamorous person and that happens, I think you really need to reevaluate that connection. And one more card. We have Pink Rose Grace. They come in. Dark pink roses are said to represent gratitude, whereas lighter hues suggest admiration and grace, and hot pinks mean confidence, energy, and joy. So there's a lot of respect and admiration here. There's nothing here of absolute love, or, you know, nothing to symbolize absolute commitment. The constancy really just meant to me more of a crush, and a long time crush, really. And the pink rose is admiration and gratitude for sure. But let's look into the tea leaves to see what else we have, because I really feel like this could go either way. As to whether you should say something or not, pile 3, that's going to be up to you, because I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to tell you the messages that they want to say but can't. So we have Cain, pay attention to your health. We have Unicorn, use your intuition to make beneficial changes. So yeah, tap into that High Priestess guidance that you have. Pile 3, and Ring. A marriage will take place either romantic or in business. Something tells me it's more business right now than romantic, but it's definitely signifying that there's a potential there. And with the K, pay attention to your health. I feel like that's an aside. Also, just pay attention to how this person makes you feel. If you feel like your mental health gets worse, they're not for you. But if it gets better, then they definitely are. I really feel like your health is an indicator of how this person would be to you. So let's say you get with them and suddenly you get sick, or you get sick more often. That should be an indication that they're not great for you. But let's say your health starts improving and maybe you start, you know, eating better, going to the gym, maybe some ailment magically disappears. That will be a sign that they're good for you. But regardless, I really feel like this person is here to be committed to you, either in this friendship, in work and business, or possibly a romantic connection. But these are all the messages I have for you today, Pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you and for letting me be in this lovely energy. And if you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye.